People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. And I'm here to cut red currants, and there was quite a lot of overflow. I made a 4-pound batch because I was going to pipe it, and then I couldn't find my piping kit. Oh, well, that's still soft. And that's still soft. Well, looks like I can't cut it right now. They are, as you can tell, still soft. I'm just hoping that they will solidify. The recipe I used, it started acting odd while I was making the soap. So basically, it was like a false trace, and then I got it back to a trace, and yeah. So let's hope for the best with that. I mean, it is solidifying. It's just not there yet. This is far too soft. And in fact, you can see where I touched it, and it left a little impression of my finger there. So, yeah. So I'll bring it back. Meantime, I'll put this right back on the shelf where I had it. There we go. If nothing else, I might freeze it and then cut it and then let it have an extra long curing time. But for right now, it's soft. I'm going to give it every opportunity to solidify. It was a very pretty swirl. I can't wait to cut it open. But in the meantime, yeah, that was red currants. I'll make up a batch of Goddess of the Universe. Except for, since I know that will accelerate, I'm only going to use one color and do a chopstick swirl. So that way I get a swirl in before the acceleration takes effect. And it will be available on February the 21st. Wait a minute. This is the 22nd. So February 22nd. And we already have a batch of Goddess of the Universe that will be ready on February the 14th. So basically, since I know this is a batch that sells, I figure have enough available. So I'll catch y'all up. Talk to you later. People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. My t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. No, my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. When you have a few websites that the names are similar, they sometimes get convoluted, especially if you've had a stroke in the past, so sorry about that. In the meantime, the Red Currants and the Goddess of the Universe 2 is ready to cut. The Red Currants was extremely soft, And then I remembered the base was made with soybean and palm oil in a hydrolyzed base, in other words, Crisco. And that usually makes for a soap that starts out soft and becomes very hard by the time it is finished curing. But it takes 3 days to cut instead of 24 hours. So that explains the delay. In the meantime, I have my overflow ready. I have the soaps ready. We're going to get to cutting all of them right now. This is Red Currants in the overflow. Red Currants in the overflow. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. And then this one came out looking like a pastel. Goddess of the Universe 2. Red Currants. And I poured that a little tall, as you can see. I was going to pipe it, but I couldn't find my piping bag. So instead of being tall with frosting layer on top, there's no soap frosting, there's just a slightly high top. But it's all good. Yeah. Now, man, it smells amazing. Okay. Come out of there, you lovely little soap. Doo-ba-ba. The one came out so easy, I got spoiled and thought that was going to come out easy too. Silly me. There it goes. Can't wait to see what that looks like on the inside. I'm gonna get some paper towels. Okay. First, let's do the overflow. Because we have to use my old-fashioned cheese cutter to get through these. Just because of the shape and the format and all that. So let's get this out of here. Gotta love silicone. Even when it's soft in the long run, nothing gets the soap out of the mold quicker or easier. Or safer. Okay, we're just going to put this down. And it is slide on out of there. There we go. Ooh, that's lovely. Let's get this other one out of here. Actually, I'm just going to sit this right here for right now. So we get both of them out. we go. It's got a gel ring in it. I love when stuff like that happens in your soap. See that? That's called a gel ring. It just randomly shows up in your soaps. Is that cool or what? Okay. Now, from experience, I know that trying to do a border or edge does no good. You just go ahead and cut it. Yeah. Ooh, and that's what it looks like on the inside. Was not expecting that, but I'm really happy with it. Yeah. Okay. Hold on, let me line that up. I was never good at freehand cutting the soaps on the cheese cutter, which is why I got the major cutter. There we go. In fact, this came out downright crooked. So this edge is going to be a little funky. Because I'm trying to straighten it up. Fortunately, this is the house version. So the overflow is always for the house. Even if they cut to the proper size, they are always going to be for the house. Because you always have something like this where it's a little bit crooked. Yeah. Which is why the overflow is always for the house. Because crooked soap is not, appealing to a lot of folks. And then this one is that much shorter. See that? So I think I'm just going to cut this basically in half. So that's how that looks. So those are for the house. It still gives a 4-week cure time because all my soaps get a 4-week cure time, if not longer, depending on what the base is made of. Like if it's olive oil, instead of 4 weeks, it's 6 weeks. Well, that's not true. If it's olive oil, it's 6 weeks to 8 weeks, depending on how much olive oil was in the base. So even with it being olive oil, it doesn't just stop at 6 weeks. Olive gets a long cure time because olive needs a long cure time. Give me a second. This is definitely ready to cut. This is Goddess of the Universe. It accelerates. So basically, I chose one color and figure I'll just do a chopstick swirl. But instead of chopsticks, I used a spoon. So basically, it's a spoon swirl. Which is what I meant to say, but that's not how I said it, so it didn't make sense. But I know what I meant, yeah. Okay, now. Let's line it up. There we go. Okay. That's pretty. Looks like a drop swirl, but nope. There we go. Well, technically this drop swirl, I literally poured the purple right through the batter, 3 different locations, and then I took a chopstick, or a spoon rather, and just whipped through. And then I whipped through from the other direction, and that's how we get this lovely design. And since this is aquamarine violet, what you see is what you get. So this purple stayed purple, as opposed to the titanium dioxide, which would have turned a shade of red or silver or invisible, because it's not stable in live or high pH environment. So that's how that works. Okay. Isn't that gorgeous? You just can't believe how gorgeous it smells. And my nose is loving it. Yeah. So basically, when somebody said, hey, do you have Gods of the Universe? I'm going to say, you want the purple one or do you want the multicolored one? Because the first swirl had Patagonian purple, which morphed into a cranberry color, Anastasia red, coral reef blue, TD for white, and let's see, coral reef blue, TD, and purple. Let's see. No, it had Black Star Red, which gave a chocolate red type of appearance. Yeah. Black Star Red is one of those colors you go, do I like this? Do I not like this? Do I like this? Do I not like this? And you have to kind of like debate with yourself. Okay. And I'm still not sure if I like it or if I don't like it. Now let me move these. Well, actually, let me just grab this. And we'll scoop this up. So just rest there for a second. And then we'll put this here. There we go. Now, this took 3 days, and I'm assuming that it is hard enough to cut since it released from the mold. But yeah, this was the one that was very, very soft. And my fingernail's gonna be in there because it's slightly higher. So what I'm gonna do, just take this little piece of soap here and patch up that dent that my fingernail made. Yeah. There we go. Now, there we go. That smells lovely. When I found out something about the ultramarine violet, it is water soluble, and I've been using it with oil, which is basically how you're supposed to dissolve most colors. And that will be fine. It does dissolve that way, but sometimes when you have a water soluble colorant, it puts speckles all over your soap if you use oil. So that is just going to give this particular soap character. Yeah. So let's get this cut. Oh, hold on. Now then you gotta clean off the tines of your soap cutter, so that way you still get a nice clean cut. And here we go. Oh, goodness. That was very dense. So it did not want to go straight through at all. Nice. Okay, let's let you see this. Oh, let's try to turn the angle around. Isn't that gorgeous? That was an in-the-pot swirl. And by the time that it was time to pour it, it all looked pastel. Even the top of it looked pastel. I was scared that the colors weren't going to even show up. I mean, look at the top of the soap. It's got 5 colors in it, and you could barely see them. But it had secrets that it was hiding. Look, all the colors showed up. It just didn't show up on the top. Yes. And yes, I smell every bar because it just smells so lovely in here. There we go. Let's line these up better so they don't fall over. And because of the overpour, as you can tell, there's like a little ridge right there. I'm not going to even bother to try to clean that up. That's just going to be bonus soap for the customer. Because the more the soap weighs, the longer you can use it. That is absolutely gorgeous. The colors in this was Anastasia Red, True Yellow, Ultramarine Violet, TD, and Coral Blue, I do believe. Let's see. Yeah, I do see the Coral Blue. It's really subtle. No, I'm wrong. That wasn't Coral Blue. It was Lucky Green. I'll confirm in a second because I wrote it down on the recipe. Man, that looks neat. Looks like a ribbon, don't it? Let me go over here for a second and grab the recipe. And which page I wrote it on. Yeah, the colors was TD as a base color, which gives you white. Anastasia Red. Actually, Anastasia is like a pinkish, purplish red, but the color says Anastasia, so I just took a guess. It looks red, so that's what I wrote down. True Yellow, Lucky Green, and Ultramarine Violet. And that gave us this loveliness. Yeah. I just love in-the-pot swirls. You never know what the in-the-pot swirl is going to do. it changes its format based on the shape of your mold. So if you had a tall, narrow mold, you might get a different aspect to the end of the pot swirl. If you had a wider standard, you might get a double whirl. I've had that happen a couple of times. Love it. This is the end piece. Is that neat or what? It doesn't even look like it's an end piece. It just looks like it's living there in the moment. And then we have this. That's almost a double whirl. Is that cool or what? And this had a lard base. The scent is going to mellow towards the currants as the lard dissipates. So, yeah. Anyway, this has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at PurpleButterfly-People.blogspot.com. My soaps, PurpleButterfly Soaps, could be located at People.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, PurpleButterfly-People.tmail.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Bye now. Yeah. I'm going to transfer all these to the curing rack in about 20 minutes. I wanted to just get some air on it and start to harden up a little before I put it on the curing rack. So that way I don't have to worry about being clumsy and dropping it and getting it in it and all that good stuff. That's like this soap ball. As you can tell, it was real easy to turn this into a ball. At some point in time, all these soap balls is going to make a planet soap. So that's why I'm saving them. But that was soft. This is the soap that started out too soft, and I had to wait a whole day extra just to cut it. So yeah, and it's probably going to get a 6-week cure. I'm guesstimating 4 weeks, but it might take the full 6 weeks, and that's fine. Yep. Anyway, this has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. I already did that. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned. Bye now.